Hi guys, Drew here, back with another recap of Team Canada at the World Junior Hockey Tournament. And in this game, guys, we aren't so sad as we were in the Latvia game. It was close, don't get me wrong, but they won 3-0 over Germany. Not a bad game at all from Team Canada, but there were a bit of issues. We'll talk about those issues a little bit later in this video. But I mean, Canada's, yeah, they just played solid, I guess. Well, there's a certain player in this game that got player of the game that we'll talk about later. I'll give you a hint. His last name starts with a G. But I'll talk about the goals first. Another word that starts with a G. Oliver Bonk opens up the scoring on the power play. Canada had two defensemen on their first power play. I didn't think that was going to work. They had Oliver Bonk as the bumper and on that power play. They're calling him Bumper Bonk. And he ends up scoring on that power play. So not bad at all for him. And then Caden Price with a goal. This goal was a bit odd, not gonna lie. Price is at the blue line. He just flings it down low. It goes off the dasher, then off the back of a Nico Pertuk, and in the back of the net. So all good for Caden Price, but I mean, that's a fluky goal if you've ever seen a fluky goal, if you know what I mean. And then in the empty net, Matthew Cataford ends up ending it in the empty net, and the crowd goes wild for him. Matthew Cataford plays in the QMJHL, so will we see him next year? I think he'll be in his overage season. I don't think we'll be ending up seeing him, but he's really good in that league. He plays for the Rimouski Oceanic that will be playing in the Memorial Cup this year. I'm going to have to get my words right because I'm going to have to be doing more of these QMJHL talks soon. But yeah, all around a solid game from Team Canada. One player that I've noticed has been a bit odd as of late is since the home opener, I should say, Gavin McKenna hasn't been the same, I think. Like, he's still been, like, decent, but, like, he hasn't been great. He's shaky while getting out of the corners, can't usually win puck battles that often, and the only thing he's really good at, the only thing he's been really, really, really good at is shooting the puck. Like, he's really good at that. But there's one thing about Gavin McKenna that he can't score. He hasn't been racking up points, and that's what you need to be a good hockey player. I mean, sure, you could be a defensive forward, but McKenna isn't that. So we're gonna have to hope for McKenna to bounce back again for the next few games to come, or else we may be in trouble here because we were expecting bright things from McKenna heading into this tournament. Now I want to talk about the guy that's his last name starts with a G, Carter George, with in 2 games for Team Canada. He has a 0 goals against average, a 1.000 save percentage, and a 120-minute shutout streak. Wow, Carter George. Congrats, man. Congrats. That he's been really good for Team Canada these past few games. And will he keep it up? I mean, New Year's Eve he's gotta start versus the Americans. He's got to be in net. There's no way you're starting Ivan Kovic. There's no way you're starting Carson Bjarnason. It's going to be Carter George. He's been unbelievable this tournament for Canada, and hopefully he keeps it up. And here's the best thing about this. He'll still be Canada's goalie next tournament, which is unbelievable. I mean, it'll probably be George and Ivan Kovic next year since Bjarnason, this is probably his last chance. But, I mean, Carter George is the goalie next year. Just a year of improvement from him. There isn't much improvement, it looked like, from his play so far this tournament. But yeah, he's been great. But yeah, so I just want to talk a little bit about the game itself. Canada versus Germany. There were a few points in the game where just Canada was really sloppy with the puck. Sloppy play throughout the game, I think, at least. There were some dumb penalties taken. Like, the Dickinson slew foot, I don't think should have been a penalty, in my opinion. They just ran into each other, basically. But there was one with Ethan Gauthier down behind the goalie, and he just did that on purpose. Like, it almost looked like he wanted to go to the penalty box. The way he roughed, I believe it was a roughing penalty or something, and he had to the box for 2 minutes. But I mean, you can't be taking those penalties if you want to win games. Obviously, for an example of that, look at the Latvia game. Both of their goals were on the power play. You don't want to be taking penalties in these games, guys. Even though the IHF is usually soft on penalties, in my opinion, at least, I don't think they're No, I think they're pretty soft with calling stuff. Usually, like a regular NHL boarding penalty is a 5-minute game or something like that. But yeah, I just think that yeah, they need a bit of an improvement with that sloppy play. But one thing they also need to improve on, in my notes here, I have this in all caps. We need goal scoring. We need goal scoring bad in this tournament. Like, I don't even understand how we haven't scored like much goals in the tournament. And 2 of the 3 goals, and one of those goals, and the one forward goal was an empty net, but 2 of those goals were by defensemen, and we're having defensemen scoring for us right now. I mean, I haven't been quite a fan of Easton Cowan, but he's been solid, I guess. But he hasn't been what I thought he was going to be in this tournament. There are players that have been solid, but I mean, we need goal scoring bad. And as I said in the last video, look at Andrew Crystal, look at Michael Misa. They're dominating their leagues they're playing in right now. That's why you need these types of players to go to find the back of the net and win games. And also, I wanted to talk a little bit about Finland. Kasper Halttunen on them, he's burying the biscuit. I don't know if you were watching, any of you guys were watching the USA Finland game, but they were on the power play and Halttunen was in his one-timer spot. Like, the entire American team was over right by him, trying to cover him from doing that one-timer because he's so good at shooting the puck. How much desperately would I like to have Kasper Halttunen on Team Canada right now? That would be awesome. But will it happen? Probably not, but yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about their key additions. Porter Martone with a healthy scratch in this game, which he hasn't been great. 0 points in 2 games, but then again, there were some other players that I think I could have left out of the lineup, like Matthew Cataford. I mean, that empty netter was an empty netter, but he's been mid at best, I think, this tournament. Honestly, he's been solid, but just not as solid. Not a top line guy, but Carson Rakoff comes into the lineup and he looks solid. I mean, Rakoff tore up the OHL last season, and he's tearing it up again this season. So we'll see how he does for the rest of the tournament if he gets playing time, which I hope he does because he's been doing really good. But yeah, Rakoff, he looks solid in the German game. No points, but still pretty solid. But one player that did get a point in their Canada debut is Sawyer Minio. Minio comes into the lineup after Schaefer gets injured from his collarbone, and he'll be out for the tournament. But then Sawyer Minio comes in, and he gets 1 assist. The 1 assist was on the Caden Price goal. Not too bad at all for Sawyer Minio. He's actually the captain of the Seattle Thunderbirds of the WHL. He's a little bit over point per game in that league, so not bad at all. Hopefully Minio looks better in these next few games because they're going to need it. And then, as I said before, Canada's next game will be versus the USA. So that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you do, you can like this video. You can subscribe if you really liked it. We're on the road to 300 subscribers, so if you can hit that subscribe button down below, I truly appreciate it. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys enjoy your New Year's, because my next video will be on New Year's Day. So this is the last video of 2024. What a ride it's been on the Drew and I channel. We came from Growlers recaps to Caps talk, all this, and now we're here doing World Juniors recaps. There's more to come, way more to come. We got the QMJHL team coming, lots of content I've got planned for that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you were here for me for the entire year, thank you for watching all these videos. And yeah, so if you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're only getting things started with. So that's it for today's video, guys, and I will talk to you all again in the new year.